Hey everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I am Yolanda Hayes. I am a licensed realtor in the Winston-Salem, North Carolina area, and I work for Berkshire Hathway Home Services here in Winston-Salem. So today's topic is going to be about an alternative to the NACA program. If this is something that you're interested in, make sure you go ahead and keep on watching. I have a ton of videos for home buyers who are thinking about purchasing a home in the near future to help you get through this tough time. Right now, these interest rates are sky high. The prices of homes are sky high, and I'm going to be providing information on how you can overcome these obstacles. So I wanted to share a little bit of a backstory. When I purchased my first home, now keep in mind I was not a realtor when I purchased my first home. I was 26 years old, kind of new to North Carolina. If you guys been on my channel, you know that I relocated from Cincinnati, Ohio, and I moved to Charlotte, North Carolina initially when I first moved to North Carolina. So living in Charlotte in 2003, I mean, rent was really good back then, so you have to keep that in mind. Rent was really good. My very first apartment, I got a 2-bedroom apartment, and I want to say I was paying around $640. That was kind of like their move-in special. The apartment itself probably was like $800, but they had a move-in special to reduce the price of that. So I was very happy to find a 2-bedroom, 2 full bathroom apartment for under $700. That was great. However, I quickly realized that living in an apartment was not for me. Dealing with other people around me, dealing with someone living above me. Now I was on the bottom floor, living with someone above me, stomping around, having parties all the time. They had children that were jumping around constantly. That life was not for me. So I knew that I was not going to be renewing my lease after the very first year. I immediately started looking into purchasing a home. Now, what helped me is that I did have good credit. So what I'm going to be talking about today, yes, it's an alternative to NACA, but not so much, only because I know that NACA does not require for you to have a high credit score. But for those people that have at least a 640, I personally do not agree with how NACA kind of handles their program. Not knocking NACA, because NACA has helped tons, thousands and hundreds of thousands of people get into homes. I just feel like if I'm going to work with a home buyer, I want them to have the best experience possible. So the delays, the shock payments, just everything with NACA, yes, they provide you with a lot of, programs. Let's say that. They help you with a lot of programs. NACA themselves is more of a kind of like a credit counselor or credit preparation to get you to where you need to be. But they are not actually a lender. They bring in their lender to help you get to, you know, the end goal. Well, I just feel like the things that the hoops, the red tape, everything that a buyer has to jump through to get into their home, that journey, in my opinion, is just not a fun, exciting, you know, journey. And I decided, you know what, I am no longer going to be representing anyone that wants to go through the NACA program. Now that was my choice, but there's other options. There's so many other options out here. So back to what I was saying, when I purchased my home, I stacked programs. Luckily, I did have a loan officer as well as a realtor that I had that, you know, helped me understand that I could stack programs. And what that means is that you can use multiple programs to help you purchase your home. So I didn't have to bring anything to the closing table. I used a down payment assistance program that paid everything for me. And I also used what is called a 2-1 buy down. And that is what we're going to talk about today. How you can come to the closing table not having to have a dime in your pocket. Okay, so let me just explain what the 2-1 buy down program is. Now, this is a program that has came back into the market because interest rates were so low. You really didn't need to use a 2-1 buy down when interest rates were 5% or 4% or 3%. You really didn't need that. So for several years, this program just wasn't even popping. Nobody knew about it. No one was really asking about it. It really just left the scene. But when I purchased my home, my interest rates are what it is today, okay? When I purchased my home. So when I'm hearing people complaining, saying how high the interest rates are, yes, the interest rates was this high. This is where they were, between 7 and 8% when I purchased my home. So I really feel like we all just kind of got spoiled with the lower interest rates when COVID hit, and that's the lowest that they've ever been. So being that I purchased my home almost 20 years ago, this is the highest right now, 8%, and it's a little over, it's right at 8 or like 8.25 right now. This is the highest interest rates have been in the last 23 years. So just keep that in mind. What goes up must come down, so interest rates will come down. But in the meantime, this is the program that I used, and again, they have brought this program back. The 2-1 buy down, that means that you can buy down your rate. And what you do is buy it down. You can use a program where the lender actually, buys it down. And if it's at 8%, so when it say 2-1 buy down, so you're gonna buy it down 2 points, okay? So if you're at 8%, your 3 years, so 1, 2, 3, 2-1 buy down, it's gonna be 2 and then 1. So you're gonna have 2 where your rate is adjusting. So this is not an adjustable rate mortgage. Keep that in mind. This is not an adjustable rate mortgage. You have 2 years where your rate is lower. So if the rates right now are at 8%, for the first year it's going to be 6. That gives you an opportunity. You know eventually it's going to get to that 8% because that's what the current rates are. But the first year around, it's going to be 6. The second year around, it's going to be 7. And then you're going to be fixed at the 8%. So if the rates between those 3 years, if the rates change, say for instance, the rates drop down to 6%, you can go ahead and refinance and get that fixed at the 6%. You're not locked in. What I am saying is to help you out, to give you that little bit of cushion, that 2-1 buy down, at least for the first 2 years, your rate is going to be a lot lower, meaning your monthly payment is going to be a lot lower, at least for the first 2 years, to give yourself time and give yourself preparation to save up enough money to go ahead and be ready for that higher monthly payment by that 3rd year. And this is the program that I actually did. And before I reached that fixed rate, okay, before I hit that fixed rate, the interest rates went down and I ended up getting fixed at a 4.5% on my first home. So yes, I was able to bring it back down to where I originally started when I purchased my home with the 2-1 buy down. So again, let me just give you another example with mine. The interest rates were about 6.75. I think that's what my rate was, 6.75. So when I purchased my home, I was able to do the 2-1 buy down. My first year, my rate was 4.75. So that's 2 points from the original. Okay. Then the second year it was 5.75. And then on the 3rd year, it was at the 6.75. However, again, because interest rates had dropped by then, I was able to refinance and redo my mortgage at a 4.5%. So just keep that in mind, that that is an option for you if you want to go ahead and get a lower rate. Another option for you is to also, you can buy down your rate. You don't have to do the 2-1 buy down. You can talk to your loan officer and say, look, it is 8% right now. How much would it cost me to buy down my rate to get it fixed initially up front to a 3%? How much would it cost to be fixed at a 4% or a 5%? You can ask these questions up front. Ask your loan officer, how much money will I need to move into my home, not have to worry 3 years down the road of anything. I want to go ahead and pay this money up front and buy down my rate to whatever you want. So you do have that opportunity as well. So that is one thing that I wanted to talk to you about, that you do have options to bring down that initial interest rate. Now, on top of the 2-1 buy down program, I also then used a program called House Charlotte in the Charlotte area. Now, this particular program, I usually don't recommend this program anymore. Now, this is a Charlotte-based, Mecklenburg County base. So if you are in the Charlotte area, this program is still available. They gave me $10,000 to put towards my down payment and cover my closing costs. So all of that money really went towards taking care of everything. I did not have to bring anything to the table. I had zero that I had to bring for my down payment and zero that I had to bring for my closing costs. Now, outside of the Charlotte area, there is a program that is called North Carolina First Home Advantage Down Payment. Now, this is $15,000. This is a program that you can use that gives you $15,000, and this is a state program. This is not limited to a city like Charlotte, how Charlotte is. You have to be a Charlotte resident in order to utilize that particular program. And I personally feel like the North Carolina Housing Program was a little bit better. Now, these are grants and these are forgivable grants. So I want to definitely go into more detail about that. So whether you use the House Charlotte program or the North Carolina Home Advantage program, both of these programs, again, are grants and they are forgivable grants. However, there are always stipulations to any kind of grants. And I've done this video before about, you know, all money is not good money. So I'm going to leave that video above about the, you know, the pros and cons to using a down payment assistance program. But for those people who don't have down payment assistance money saved up, this is a great way to get into a house today, is to use a program. Now, what I mean by the stipulations is that you can't just get this money and then sell your home 2 years from now. You do have to remain in your home, and it also has to be your primary residence. This is not something they have covered. Listen, they have covered all the corners, okay, of everything. You cannot get this money, move out, and then rent the house out. They have it covered. They probably have, you know, people watching you to see if you end up renting your house out. I don't know, but they make sure that they let you know over and over again, you cannot sell your home, and they prevent you from selling your home by placing a lien on it. It's like a second mortgage type of a lien on the property to keep you from being able to sell this home. Also, as far as moving and renting, like renting it out afterwards, I'm not sure how they track that, but that is definitely something that they are not here for. They definitely frown upon that. So what the North Carolina housing one, you have 15 years. If you live in this house for 15 years, you after 15 years, it is completely 100% forgiven. Now, just to be realistic, how many people are really staying in their first home for 15 years? It's not a lot at all. So you do have to pay the money back. So say, for example, if you took the $15,000 and in 5, 6, 7 years, you decide that you don't want to live in this house anymore. And that's perfectly fine. You do have to pay that $15,000 back. Now, I don't want anyone, this is my thing, I think outside the box, okay? I think outside the box. So when I am working with a client, I talk to that client as if this is a family member of mine, okay? I'm gonna think outside the box. If I don't have the money today, if I don't have $15,000 today, but I need $15,000 today, and there's a program giving me $15,000 today, I'm going to take the $15,000. With that being said, if you know all the information up front, Like, I'm providing you the truth. I'm providing the information up front. I'm letting you know up front, if you move, you will have to pay this money back. I make sure that my clients know this, okay? And if you stay in the house at least 11 years, so year 1 to year 11, you only have to pay 20% of it back. Knowledge is key. You have this information up front that you know you have to pay this money back if you move. So what I do with my clients, I go ahead, get them into the home, get them their keys, and what happens is I have them put aside money over the next couple of years that will build up to $15,000, okay? Because you don't know. You may get a job transfer, you may have a child, and you have to move because you didn't buy enough bedrooms. Anything could happen. You could go through a divorce, or you can get married. Life-changing decisions can cause people to relocate or to move and have to get a different home. So what I talk to my clients about, you know up front, I gotta pay this money back. So let me start saving and putting this money, building up this money just in case I have to pay this money back. So you're getting in your home. Don't look at the $15,000. Look at the home. You want to look at the bigger picture. You are in the home, and now it's time to start saving and putting that money aside in case you have to go ahead and move in less than 15 years. Now again, after 15 years, if you do remain in that home for 15 years, it is completely 100% forgiven and the lien is lifted off the home. So this is also a great program that again is incomparable to NACA, where you don't have to put any money down. It's just covered right for you. Now with the North Carolina First Home Advantage program, you do have to have a 640 credit score. Now this is something, you know, that is different from NACA, is that you do have to have a 640 credit score. For those people who do not have a 640 credit score, but you're very close, let's just say you're right at 600, guys, I have a whole team. I have loan officers as well as credit counselors and financial advisors that will help you get to where you need to be in getting it quickly. This credit score has not been the issue these days. What the issue has been is people not having any savings at all. This is what's happening. So it's not the credit score is just no longer an issue. Helping people get their credit score where it needs to be, that's not the issue that we're having today out in the field. We are having more and more issues with people not having any savings at all. So although you have a down payment assistance program and you also have a program that will cover your closing costs, guys, you still have upfront costs. You still have to get a home inspection before you buy this house. You still have to have a down payment, not a down payment, a deposit, a due diligence fee, earnest money deposit, anything like that. So it is going to cost money up front in order for you to even get the ball rolling. And that is the problem that we're having today, is people not being prepared for that. And that's what a home buyer class is for. So I am thinking that I am going to start my home buyer classes back. So I have created a Facebook group, and I'm going to go ahead and leave that link down below. It is called the Clubhouse, Home Buyers Clubhouse. And I really don't have that many members yet because this is my first time really announcing it. I'm going to go ahead and leave that link below. Hopefully we can build that up to start helping people come together, cheer each other on. I just wanted to create a group just to help people, you know, mingle with each other, just to, you know, again, push each other along with going on this journey to be homeowners. So I am planning to go ahead and get back to doing my home buyer education classes. And this is why I love what I do, is because I want to focus more, and I've always focused more on the education part of purchasing a home. I am not that realtor that tries to push you into getting in a home. I am about the education part of it, because I never, ever, ever want a client of mine having buyer's remorse. So I am very, very thorough with purchasing homes and giving you that guidance. So with the North Carolina First First Advantage down payment, I have notes here, so that's why I keep looking down. You are able to use this $15,000 towards a single family home, townhome, or a condo. So keep that in mind. You don't have to have it for a single family home. You can use this money towards a townhome or a condo if you can find it within your budget. The next thing that I want to talk about is new construction. This is what's going on now. New construction, builders that are doing pre-designed homes, like for instance, if you're in the Winston-Salem or Triad area, you have True Homes, Sagamore Homes, you have Eastwood Homes, DR Horton, all of them. They are all running specials where they are starting you off at a much lower fixed rate. What they're doing, the lender is paying that rate for you and bringing it down. So I literally just closed a home and my client, zero. He had to bring nothing to the table. His closing cost was covered from the builder. That was a move-in special, and also they were running a special for a 5.25 interest rate. Yes, a fixed rate. The lenders that are partnered with the builder, they are paying down these rates for you guys. I have Eastwood Homes right now. They are also buying down the rate. I want to say they are buying down the rate to like a 5.5% interest rate, and several other builders are running this as well. So not only are you getting a lower interest rate as far as a move-in special, they are also paying all of your closing costs as well. My client had to bring nothing to the table, and as far as his down payment, because he was a veteran, so if you are a veteran, whether you are a retired veteran or an active veteran, you still get to use a VA loan, which is zero down. But not only that, if you are looking in more of a rural area, there's USDA loans as well, and that also is zero down. I also have another client right now that is building. She is due to close December 13th, and her interest rate, this builder that she went through, actually gives you a 3.25. That is unheard of. 3.25% interest rate for the first year. So they are paying down the interest rate for her for the very first year, and then after that first year, her rate would be 5.25 fixed. Okay, I'm making sure that my buyers are getting into these homes and they are not going to be having an 8% interest rate, okay? And they also are educated to know to start preparing for these rates to start coming down. So even if they are right now, so those that are fixed at a 5.25, we may not see that again. It may be a while before we see another, under 5% interest rate. However, if you want to get a lower rate, right now is the time to go with new construction or do these 2-1 buy downs and go ahead and buy down your rate. This is the things that you want to do instead of going with the NACA program. So this is just another alternative that I feel like if you have good credit and credit, is just not an issue for you, these are some other options for you to stack programs. You can do 3 programs. There's no limitation really, but you do want to talk to your loan officer about stacking programs. So whether you buy down your own rate and not use a program at all, or use the 2-1 buy down lending program combined with a down payment assistance program, combined then with new construction, where new construction is actually buying your paying for all your closing costs. These are things that you want to do. You want to stack programs, and I am here to help. So if this information is useful to you, please make sure you go ahead, give me a thumbs up, comment down below. I want to know your questions. I want to be able to help you in any way that I possibly can to answer your questions on how to purchase a home and how to save money. Just because you want a home, you don't want to go with new construction, because a lot of people complain the houses are too close together. You're not getting all of the features that a lot of the pre-sale homes are have to offer. But you guys, you have to keep in mind, the people who are selling homes right now, they are selling because they have to. They have to sell their homes because either They are, you know, relocating for jobs. They have kids that have graduated high school, and maybe they are empty nesters and want to, you know, downsize. But people are not just selling their homes like crazy right now. Right now, the market is being held together because of new construction. People are remaining in their homes. We have had so many people staying in their homes to the point that we are still having multiple offers. It is still a seller's market. Why is it still a seller's market? Because there's more buyers than homes that are available, because people are not moving, okay? And the reason that they're not moving is because they have been able to refinance their home during COVID. Between 2020 and 2021, when everybody was refinancing their home, a lot of people were able to get down to a 3% or even lower interest rate. Now, if you had a house at 3% interest rate, would you move? No, I wouldn't move. So I'm telling you, people are not moving because they don't want to lose that rate. If today's rates are 8% and they already have a 3%, why would they move? So right now, as far as homes that when they hit the market, we are still dealing with multiple offers. Now, keep in mind that real estate is local. Okay, so I am only speaking about the Triad area, the North Carolina Triad area, as far as Winston-Salem, Greensboro, High Point, Lexington, and even the Charlotte area. We are seeing multiple offers still to this day because we don't have enough homes available. So the only other option is to go ahead with new construction. And your new construction home does not have to be your forever home. It is your home, but it does not have to be your forever home. So keep in mind, I want to recall back to when I said I purchased my first home in 2003 and I was 26 years old. That was my first home, and I still have that home today. It is an investment property. That was not my forever home, but I still have it today because I want to build wealth. I want to continue buying homes and building wealth, and that's what you should do as well. So again, this is information on how you can overcome, get past the NACA program, or even overcome these obstacles that you are having with these high interest rates. If you have any questions, again, leave them down below. I'm Yolanda Hayes with Berkshire Hathway Home Services, and please make sure you give me a call. I have people like you calling me every day, emailing me, following me on my social media, and I'm going to leave all my social medias down below. This is the time. If you're thinking about purchasing a home in 2024, get as much knowledge as you possibly can. Again, I am going to start hosting home buyer classes again. I think I'm going to start out doing those on Zoom and doing them online before start doing them in person. Yes, before COVID, I was doing them in person, but I believe I'm going to start off on Zoom and kind of see the feel that, you know, see if people are really interested. And again, I'm going to leave my link to the new Facebook group down in the description box below. Please make sure you go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.